butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. A reading rainbow.
Hi, my name is Krishna Keshav, and I'll be talking about the poem I Too Sing America by Langston Hughes. James Mercer Langston was born on February 1st, 1902 in Joplin, Missouri to James Hughes and Carrie Langston. Soon after his birth, his parents separated. His father moved to Mexico and he lived with his grandmother till he was 13 years old. At the age of 13, he moved to Lincoln, Illinois to live with his mother and stepfather because his grandmother had passed away. Soon later, they settled in Cleveland, Ohio. Hughes graduated high school in 1920 and spent a year in Mexico and convinced his father to let him go to Columbia University in New York. He left after 1 year because there was too much discrimination and became part of the Harlem Renaissance movement. At the age of 20, he moved to Washington, D.C. When Hughes dropped out of Columbia in 1922, he worked various odd jobs around New York for the following year before signing on as a steward on a freighter that took him to Africa and Spain. He left the ship in 1924 and lived for a brief time in Paris, where he continued to develop and publish poetry. In 1926, Alfred A. Knopf published Hughes' first poetry book, The Weary Blues. It took Hughes 3 years, but in 1929 he graduated from Lincoln University in Pennsylvania with a Bachelor of Arts. In 1930, his first novel, Not Without Laughter, won the Harman Gold Medal for Literature. One of Hughes' teachers introduced him to Carl Sandburg and Walt Whitman, which later he cites as his primary influences. Carl Sandburg was an American writer who is best known for his poetry. Walt Whitman was an American who is best known for his poetry, essays, and journals.
I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful we are and be ashamed. I too am America.
Langston Hughes published I Too Sing America in 1945, 10 years before the start of the Civil Rights Movement. Hughes was known as a patriotic poet, especially in the poem I Too Sing America, and was known as a poet of the Harlem Renaissance. The Harlem Renaissance was a cultural movement for African American literature and art. In the poem I Too Sing America, Hughes first starts off talking about how the man is African American and because of his skin color he is not treated equally. Hughes said in the past, whites didn't treat blacks equally, the discriminators will regret their actions in the future. In the future, no one will discriminate and there will be equality in the world. The whites will be ashamed of the past, but realize that the blacks and whites are equal. The man is proud to be an African American. The search for dignity is a theme of this poem because African Americans were fighting for their natural rights with dignity and not letting people put them down. The African Americans did not give up until the whites gave them their rights that they deserved. The writer talks about the present and the future tense. Within the poem, there are many different locations such as the kitchen. When talking in the poem, the voice shows that the character is brave and courageous and will fight for his rights. Langston Hughes died on May 22, 1967 in New York City, New York. His ashes are buried under the floor of the Langston Hughes Auditorium in the Arthur Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture in Harlem. Over his ashes is a circle with a beautiful African design called Rivers. Well, I'll see you next time. I hope you learned a lot about Langston Hughes and his famous poem, I Too Sing America. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.